next 1 hour and solving all your queries. You can dial into us on WhatsApp as well as call into us into this particular show as well. You can reach out to on both these numbers which are flashing on your screen right now. Apart from that, we are going to be seeing a very whole host of queries today because we've seen the markets also react very positively. And on the show today, we are now joined by Mr. Girish Sudani, the co-founder of Ensure Capital on the fundamental side, and Jay Bala, the founder and chief market technician of Cash the Chaos on the technical side. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today and taking us through the whole host of queries over the next 1 hour. To start with, the first query that we are looking at is going to be on WhatsApp. Vinod is, writing into us today for this particular query, and he's looking for the first stock, which is on Spandana Spurti. Now, he's looking to see if he can buy into this current price for the long term. So let me go across to Girish first. Girish, welcome to the show. I just wanted to ask you for Spandana because, the results have not been, for quarter three. It's been a lackluster quarter. We've also seen the promoter completely exit as well, the previous promoters. Any kind of outlook that you're looking for in terms of Spandana Spurti, and what should a viewer do with the same?
So basically, my outlook was a little bit negative in this particular counter. There's low to the coverage ratio as well as you already told that the promoter holdings are decreasing, and that is quite be a red remark from our end also, as well as the quarter in the term means of low return on the equity sides also. So we are not very much bullish in this particular counter. So my suggestion is to just avoid this counter for the longer period of time also.
Jay, if any kind of entry would be cited into this particular quarter, while Girish has mentioned a sell rating, would you concur to avoid this stock based on charts?
Absolutely, the charts concur with it, and it's been in a extremely strong momentum-driven downswing, and it's come to about 304 and bounced to about 520, and it's coming back to retest the all-time 52-week low. So the price structure isn't yet stable yet. And if you're trying to bottom fish, it comes with a lot of risk. As an insurance, you always wait for the stock to put in a bottom and form a base. And once that's done, you can look at bottom fishing candidates. But, it's quite risky to go and stand in front of a moving train.
All right, so that's a view coming in by Jay Bala on Spandana Spurti. Now with that, let's go across to one more WhatsApp query. So Natasha is writing to us from Goa. She says that she's bought 1,158 shares of Bajaj Housing Finance at 166 a piece. So should she sell the counter or should she hold it? So currently the stock is trading at 109 and it was down almost 1% today. And recently Axis Cap's note on Bajaj Housing was to initiate reduce with the target price of 110. Since she hasn't mentioned the time frame, I'd like to come to you, Mr. Jay Bala. What do you have to say on the counter?
The price structure is quite weak, and the visibility of a bottom is not in place. So it's an avoid at the moment. Wait for the stocks to stabilize. Yeah, 100 does look alluring, thinking that there could be no more bottom. But stocks have done amazing things that people don't expect. So wait for the stock to bottom out, and then look for bottoming candidates. Right now, it's still an avoid.
Got that view, Jay. The next query is actually our first caller for today. Zach is dialing us from Bangalore. Good evening, Zach. What's your query?
Hi. My query is about entering into OFSS, Oracle Finance at the current levels. I would like to take a swing on it, post budget. I expect it to go about 15-20%. I may be wrong, so I thought I'll take the expert's opinion on that.
Okay, let me go across to Jay real quick. Jay, OFSS as a candidate on the charts, do you suggest that a viewer should get into this stock right now?
See, the stock has been a tripler from early 2023-24, and it's come down from 13,000 to 9,800. So it looks like a good correction, but the overall trend for the market is such that we are still correcting, and the Nifty is likely to go down to about the June 4th low. And though the IT index is still the strongest index, you might want to keep a track on Nifty IT index at about 41,000. if 41,000 were to break for the Nifty IT index, there'll be furthermore selling pressure on the entire gamut of IT stocks. For the moment, the pressure is felt only on the frontline names. Oracle Financials hasn't felt that much pressure. Persistent and Coforge, they are all doing quite well. So right now it's just in middling around. So just again an avoid here. If you're trying to get in here, keep a stop loss of 41,000 on the Nifty IT index. If that were to break, definitely get out.
All right. With that, let's go across to another caller. So Zenith is calling from Bengaluru. Zenith is a very regular caller on our show. Hi, Zenith. Good evening. How can we help you?
Good evening, everybody, and sorry to bother you every single day.
No. It's you're not bothering us. It's our pleasure that you're constantly keeping in touch and calling us.
Thank you.
So with that, please go ahead with your query.
Okay, I'm holding 200 shares of Motilal Oswal Financial Services at
Right.
the rate of 852, and I'm intrigued to know why there is a sudden downward trajectory based on just rumors on Kalyan Jewelers, while
right.
the stocks like Zomato, which has been disappointing results, is not budging at all. I'm really intrigued. Our retail investor sentiments have changed.
Okay.
That is my query, and what's the trajectory for 6 to 1 year?
All
Since the
right.
quarterly results is about to come, are we expecting any positivity?
Yes.
So-
So, Girish, coming straight to you on this one, how are the fundamentals of MOSL looking like? Because as he rightly mentioned, what is it that's going wrong for the counter?
So, first of all, there's no any specific reason that why the Motilal is going down. If we saw that every single broker is going down, because as we saw that there's a 4 to 5 quarters, we are just seeing the market is a heavy volatile. And during this particular situations, the retail investors are little bit lower in the term in the valuations as well as the trade remarks. So every single broker is down. So this is not a responsibility of the Kalyan Jewelers or any other Zomato or Swiggy. We can't say that. But now comes to the company's fundamentals. The company fundamentals was very good. They are just expanding very heavily, as well as we are just expecting by very strong quarters numbers in the next 2 quarters itself. The companies are delivering a very good profit growth in the last 5 years itself. So the company fundamentals was good. Just hold your position as of now. So as the investor, you are just go with the 1.5 year time frame. So my suggestion is to just average this below around 600. If you saw that the level of 600, 610, then just do an average of that particular near terms and hold your position for the 1.5 year.
Got that view on Motilal, and multiple business there, wealth management, housing finance, broking being one of them as well. So stock has been doing very well, 62% in the past year. But let's go across to our next caller. He's dialing in from West Bengal. Arun is dialing us. Good evening, Arun. What's your query?
Yeah, I'm holding 7,500 shares of Zomato at 280.76.
Okay. And do you want a long-term view on the stock?
6 months to 1 year.
Okay.
What should I further do some averaging, or should I hold it, or
Got
should I
that.
exit?
Girish, let me come across to you really quickly. Zomato, while the Q3 results weren't the strongest and stock has taken a beating post that, any kind of outlook that you have on Zomato right now?
So my outlook is little bit negative in the terms for the near terms. But if we get the range of around 160 or 165, then it would be the more favorable range for me to just invest in the longer term frame. So my suggestion of this particular caller that just wait and watch for the 160 range. If they reach it out at that particular level, just do an average for the longer period of time, because you have to wait for at least 1.5 year. The companies are still working on the restructuring model. And then the profit obviously just go and decline to the next 1 quarter itself also. So just wait and watch for the 1.5 years itself.
Jay, Zomato, a retail favorite stock. Anything on the charts that you would suggest that it could see a downward trajectory? It has fallen from the 300 rupee mark. Any outlook on Zomato?
Went from 44 to 306. So that's a 5-bagger move, 6-bagger move. And the stock broke below significant support at 240. I've been mentioning this on NDTV Profit as 240 as being a very important support. But having broken that, the stock is likely to retrace and correct the entire move that started from 44 to 306, and that works out to about 175. So 175 is the next important support. I think the stock could find some value buyers around that zone. So wait for a little more time. The longer term trend is quite strong. At the moment, there's nothing to be done. So wait for stock to approach significant support, which is around 175. I don't think it's going to go to 144, which is the next support below that. I'll watch out as to what the stock does around 175.
All right, so that's a whole view coming in on Zomato for short term. With that, let's go across to one more caller from Chennai. Hi, Kunal. Good evening.
Good evening.
How can we help you?
Yeah, so I have DAM Capital, which was recently listed at
Yes.
400 rupees,
Yes.
125 shares. So it has dipped a lot in the recent past given the market conditions, but today its results came out, which were,
Yeah.
overly positive.
Yeah.
So I'd like a long-term view on it, given that maybe even 2 or 3 year range would be really helpful. Thank you.
Okay, so Girish, I'd like to come to you on this one because DAM Capital rightly said it came up with its Q3 earnings today. Revenue was up 64%. Broking revenue, although, was down 11%. But overall, net profit was also up. It was 2.3 times at 52 crore rupees, which is a significant number for the counter. So what do you have to say on the fundamentals of DAM Capital? Should the investors stay invested for another 1 to 2 years?
Definitely, because TAM Capitals, as we already saw that the what the management committee is all about, it's related to the merchant banking, how the revenues are still improving in the merchant banking process, and they have already done the 17 transactions as of now with the raising of around 20,000 crores valuation AUM. So we are just more bullish on that particular DAM Capitals, but obviously the investor have their own view of for the 1.5 year time frame. So little bit more positive in the DAM Capital, and just hold your position as of now.
Got that view. Let's go across to our next caller. Sumit is dialing into us. Sumit, what's your query?
Good evening. Thank you for my call. I'm calling from Qatar.
Oh, that's good. Thanks so much for joining us, Sumit, at this time.
Kalyan Jeweler, I have 126 piece at the rate 531.
Yeah.
Can I add more?
All right, let me go across to, first Girish first actually, because, Kalyan Jewelers, Girish, the company did hold a conference call, and, we have almost a daily query on Kalyan Jewelers recently, because a lot of investors who bought into the growth story currently have a lot of questions on the long-term outlook, because promoter pledging of shares, buying a private plane, a lot of rumors going around. While they have been trying to alleviate some of them with a conference call, it's not helped the stock price performance at all. Any kind of view that you have on Kalyan Jewelers and what to watch out for next in this company?
So, Kalyan Jewelers, we are just talking about because there's so many rumors, so many discussions are still going on with the promoters pledging it and everything. Obviously, you suggested that, but the promoters are still trying to just figure it out what the explanations are given by them. So we are a little bit bullish on that particular Kalyan Jewelers because their national presence as well as they are more focusing on the growth presence in the geographical of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities both, as well as we are seeing the volume growth is going to be high in the next 2 quarters or 3 quarters. We can say that by the 22%. As well as we are more focused on that budget propositions also in the gold stocks. So we have a long-term view in the bullish case, and we are still in the holding propositions. And if the investors want to invest for the 1.5 year, 2 years time frame, definitely is a very good fundamental stock.
Jay, on the charts, a lot of investors got stuck buying at around the 500 rupee levels. Would you suggest them to hold on to the stock, despite this 36% fall in the last month? Would you suggest them to wait for a correction, recovery going forward? Or do you see some more correction in the stock?
The stock is very precariously poised, and it's come very close to an important support at 446. The recent low is about today's low, I think it's about 455. So just short of the significant support at 446. But the price structure seems to suggest that it's not exhausted its selling. So watch what it does about 446. If it were to break below that, I think it can fall deeper to 364. So so avoid for the moment. And the medium to long term structure though looks positive, but the short term to medium term selling, it looks still to go. So probably some more downsides to work with.
All right, so that's a view coming in on Kalyan Jewelers. Now with that, we have a caller from Chennai. His name is also Kalyan. Hi, Kalyan.
Hi, very good evening.
Good evening.
I need to know, I have some 400 shares of BST Industries.
Yeah.
Almost in September 2024, I bought this one.
All
Actually,
right.
I bought for a long term, I mean to say 3 to 6 months one day. The thing is that as of now, it is down to 330, I think.
Yes, because I can see you are sitting on a loss of almost 28,000 there since you bought in just September. So yeah, in a very short span of time, you are sitting on a loss. So what is your query about? Do you want to hold it or?
Yeah, hold it or else I can look for some other.
All right. Jay, coming straight to you on this, how is VST Industries faring on the charts, considering Kalyan is also sitting on a loss of almost 28,000 there?
See, the short-term charts are quite choppy, but the medium terms, the stock could have potential. But I don't think the recent low it made in November at 300 odds, that's the final low for the stock. But if it is the final low, I would like to see the stock scale past 368. Only then I can conclude that the bottom is in place. But otherwise, the stock risks further downsides. But since the medium-term picture is slightly better off, I would say, hold on for the moment.
Got that view, Jay. The next caller that we're getting is from Hyderabad. Sudhakar is dialing us with a query. Sudhakar, very good evening. What's your query? Hi, Sudhakar. Can you hear me?
Hello. I'm Sudhakar from Hyderabad, sir.
Yes, please go ahead with your query.
Yeah, I have got Trent 11 shares at 5,800, sir.
Okay. And do you want a long-term view on the stock?
Usually, I hold it for long term.
Okay. Let me go across to Girish very quickly. Girish, Trent has seen a lot of correction from those highs of about 8,000 rupees. Would you suggest, holding these shares for the long term?
Yes, the fundamentals was looking good. They are just reducing their debt very, very heavily, as well as the company are giving a very strong, good result numbers too. And we are talking about the profit growth, and obviously the profit growth was around 50% plus CAGR in the last 5 years itself. The companies was still struggling in the particular ratio of their new acquisitions as well as the new stores openings, and now they are more into the restructuring the all stores profitabilities. So still we are just seeing in the next quarter will be the more difficult for the trend, but for the longer term view, obviously we are very much bullish on that particular one.
Okay, so bullish on the long term for Trent. We have a WhatsApp query now. Manohar Lal has written to us from Odisha saying that he's bought 2,400 shares of Sagility at 41 apiece and he's looking for a long-term view on the counter. As I can see, the stock was up over 2% today, and in the last 6 months also the stock was up over 63%. So the stock has been performing really well. Girish, what do you have to say? How are the fundamentals of Sagility looking like?
So for the long-term propositions, obviously the fundamentals was good, but the red remark is that the promoter already pledged his 100% of their holdings. So for the particular propositions, we are not very much bullish on that particular note for the longer-term basis. So my suggestion is to not go with the longer-term propositions. Just wait and just remove your positions in a 6 or 7 month or time frame, and just getting a very good numbers. You are getting a good profit into it. So just book your profit from as of now.
All right. So, and also because he is sitting on a decent profit there, so should he book his profits for now?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So with that, let's go across to one more caller who's calling us from Mysuru. Chandan, hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening, ma'am.
How can we help you?
Madam, I bought a Motison's jeweler share 2000 quantity a year ago at the price of rupees 27.50.
Okay.
Recently, the stock is split into 1:10.
Yeah.
After that, 30% correction already happened. Still, stock is not moving.
Yeah.
Should I stay invested in this stock or should I book loss at the current market price?
Yes, because I can see that you are sitting on a loss of almost 10,000 there. So, Jay, what do you have to say on the counter, Moti Sons Jewelers?
Okay. See, the stock has got a limited history. It's a recent listing from 2024. So, what I'm going to say, please take it with a pinch of salt. because I need a bit more longer history to be very comfortable with what I'm going to say. But right now, the stock is clocking lower lows and lower highs, which is a classic sign that stock is trending lower, and the momentum indicators are pointing to further lows ahead. So probably, the supports come at about 17 and a half. So, with the limited history that I can decipher what the stock is doing, I think it's got lower levels to go somewhere close to 18, 17 and a half.
Got that view, Jay. But next go across to our next query from Hyderabad. Anand is dialing us with a stock query. Anand, good evening. What's your query?
Good evening, sir. I have purchased 200 shares of DLF at the rate of 770 around 3 months back.
Okay. 770?
770.
Okay. And
now
you want
to... recent times there is a severe correction in reality stocks, including DLF.
Yeah.
Can I hold the stock or exit the stock?
Do you want a long-term view on the stock or a short-term view on the stock?
Medium term, 1 year.
1 year? Okay. I'm just going to take this query up with both our guests because, Girish, the realty stocks have been doing pretty well in terms of pre-sales over the last, couple of years ever since the pandemic. Any kind of outlook that you have on DLF?
So we are more positive on that particular note because there are more projects as well as the urban as well as the higher ended projects are recently launched in the multiple cities of India. So for the longer term proposition, obviously we are bullish on that particular reality levels. But the shorter terms, I think the technical will be giving a better view on that.
Jay, actually, let me just come across to you also because Nifty Realty down for the 4th straight week. This particular week, and Prestige, Sobha all have borne the brunt of the correction. While any kind of outlook that you have on realty stocks, DLF being case in point.
When we were discussing Nifty Realty Index in September, October, I had very clearly said the realty index to be avoided in the recent short to medium term because they have had a stellar run and they have been starting to correct. And it's completed a price structure from 2023 levels. The longer term is quite good for the Nifty Realty Index. The nearest support is about 815 for the Nifty Realty Index. So short-term downsides are there. While there is more to go on the short to medium term, Nifty Realty Index is the leader on the downside. And so I'm anticipating the Nifty to correct to somewhere close to the June 4th low. So probably since the Nifty Realty started correcting along with the Nifty broader market, so I expect some more downsides to work with. But the long term is good, but they should stomach some pain in the short to medium term.
All right, thanks for that view. Now with that, we have a caller from Andhra Pradesh. Hi, Krishna. Good evening.
Hi, very good evening.
Yes, how can we help you?
Yeah, I just want to invest in Geo Finance. It's a fresh investment. So is it right time to invest or should I need to wait?
All right, because Geo Financial reported its Q3 earnings recently and the revenue was up 8.3%, although the net profit was flat at 295 crore. So for how long are you planning to hold if you buy Geo Financial? For a long term or a short term?
No, for 3 months.
For 3 months. Okay, so Jay, coming straight to you on this, how is Geo Financials faring on the charts?
Extremely strong downside momentum and be very careful here. 230 is the next immediate support for the stock, but the indications are such that it might go and test it. So hold for the moment. Don't do anything. Don't add new positions here. If you're trying to create new positions, avoid for the moment. Wait, let the stock come to lower levels. Let the Nifty also bottom, and the Geo Financial stock will also bottom along with it. So watch for supports at 230, and the next support after that is about 210.
Jay, you had me in the first half when you said extremely strong, and then the downward movement didn't come in. I got that view. We'll go to our next caller who's calling us from Gujarat. Gaurav is dialing in. Gaurav, good evening. What's your query?
Yeah, good evening, sir. Sir, my query is regarding the computer aided management system, CAM.
Okay.
I am holding 100 share at an average price of 2,800, and I have been holding it for the past 3 years.
3 years, okay.
So I just wanted to know that how the stock will fare for the long term for you.
Well, it's definitely been a good purchase, Gaurav, because all the capital market plays have done really well over the last 3 years. Girish, let me come across to you first. Seen a lot of good positive reaction. We did discuss about Motilal Oswal as well. CAMS being another one. Any kind of outlook that you have on these stocks?
So for the longer term, obviously all the financials as well as the gains are a little bit on a positive notes because we saw that the growth was excellent and the companies was almost a debt free. So and a healthier ROE track record also for the 3 year of around 40% plus. So in the fundamentals front, obviously the companies was little bit stronger. And for the nearby terms, as I already told that the Motilal Oswal as well as the other financial companies, we are seeing the heavy pressures in the last 3 or 4 quarter itself in these type of companies. So just hold off your position as of now and just track that you have to hold for the next 1.5 year to just settle down and getting a good revenue for that.
Got that view, Girish. But with that, we'll have to slip into a very short break. Jay and Girish, do stay on. Keep sending in your queries, viewers, on WhatsApp as well as call in. We'll be right back for Ask Profit. Stay tuned to NDTV Profit.
This is the day that shapes the future of a billion dreams.
From the fields of agriculture to the backbone of defense.
From ambitious infrastructure projects to everyday tax policies.
Every decision counts.
How will this budget balance growth and fiscal prudence?
What will it mean for jobs and what will it mean for your portfolio?
Join us for the most comprehensive coverage of Budget 2025
as we decipher the impact
of this budget on you.
They say fortune favors the prepared. The more prepared you are using the tools of technical and fundamental analysis, the more returns you can make at the markets. Join me, Gautam Shah, at NDTV Profit's special session for investors. See you there.
The mother of all Kumbh Melas. At a scale never seen before. Livelihoods of lakhs in the balance.
NDTV Profit is boots on the ground at the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj.
Managing 45 crore pilgrims with high-tech gadgets. Don't miss Kumbhonomics on NDTV Profit at these times.
I present the budget for a historic
Well, the union budget is right around the corner. It's a very interesting time leading up to the budget as well for the policymakers as well as, us as shareholders, because we see a lot of movement in the Nifty as well as speculations are rife with what could be some of the measures that are announced in this particular budget as well as has been in each one going into the same. We look at some of the key moves that have seen in the Nifty before as well as after the budget and get you some of the biggest measures that were announced in these budgets and what could have led to the strong Nifty reactions. Let's first look at 2024 because we had two budgets announced in this particular year. One was post the elections as well, and we did see a 1.5% move in just a week after, and that momentum was continued in the month as well. Leading into this budget, there were a lot of speculation, so we saw a downward reaction of the Nifty in the past week, and we did see some of the measures such as the standard deduction being increased to 75,000 for salaried employees from 50,000 earlier, as well as the new tax regime now and having tax-free status for up to 3 lakh rupees per annum for the investors as well. Apart from that, we saw custom duty reductions on mobile phones, gold as well as chargers as well. And these were some of the key moves in this particular budget. Leading up to the election, we had, the 2024 budget on February as well. Let's see some of the reactions as you can see in this particular time frame as well. One of the key moves was increasing the budget for capital expenditures to 11 lakh crores, the first and a very huge budget as well compared to the last decade. And we did see one of the positive reactions in the week and the month after as well. For 2023, it was a very budget going into this particular budget speculation.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit on NDTV Profit, and we are joined by Girish Sodani on the fundamentals and Jay Bala on the technicals. Viewers, please don't miss your chance to get all your stock related queries answered. So pick up the phone and call us right away. With that, let's go across to one of our viewers' query. So Sanjay is calling in from Surat. Hi Sanjay, good evening. How can we help you?
Yes, madam, very good evening. I'm Sanjay calling from Surat.
Yes, please go ahead with the query.
Yeah. I am holding Navkar Corporation 95 shares at the rate of 160.
Okay.
First of all, I would like to say that I am a long-term investor. I am not a trader. Yeah. So today I want to get fundamental and technical outlook for this company because I have invested in October 2015.
All right.
So long time I am holding this stock, but nowadays I am very disappointed that I can't gain any good money.
Yeah.
So what
okay,
should I do?
yes, Sanjay, I'll get you a view on that. Girish, coming straight to you. So how are the fundamentals of Navkar Corporation looking like, considering he has been holding the stock for some time but hasn't been able to receive any positives there?
The result was mix and match, as well as we are talking about the revenue propositions. Then obviously the companies are still working on their revenue part, and previously we are seeing that a very good jump in their revenue part, approximately 40% and something. So currently we are more focused on the next 2 quarter itself, because currently we are seeing that there all the infras as well as the ancillaries, these type of freight and stations companies are still struggling in the particular regions of national as well as the international borders lines. So just focus on that particular notes. Just hold your position for the longer period of time. The companies are still performing the positions, as well as if we talk about the more fundamental terms, then the companies are working on their sales growth numbers too. So let's wait and watch for the next 2 quarter itself and hold your positions.
So the fundamental of Navkar Corporation seems promising, is what Girish is suggesting. So Jay, do you hold the same view for the short term?
The short term, the stock is bound to correct to somewhere close to about 134 to 120. The longer term chart's looking quite interesting, and it looks like it's poised to crack the all-time high past 240. But short term paying ahead, supports are about 134 to 120. Post that, I anticipate the stock to recover and go past first 180 and then go past 240, so from a 2 to 36 months time frame.
Got that view, Jay. Now, the next caller that is dialing in is from Chennai. Vishwanath is dialing in. Vishwanath, good evening. What's your query?
I need a good investment stock from Jay Balaji.
Okay. And do you hold any kind of stock, or are you looking for
No. He previously recommended a multi-bagger stock like Anand Raj Clay.
Yeah. Okay, let me go across to Jay real quick. Jay, I'm sure you made a lot of fans over the last few years. Any kind of stock you mentioned, the viewer mentioned Anant Raj as one that you mentioned. Any kind of outlook that you have on Anant Raj first? Does the rally still have a lot of legs to go? And also your next multi-bagger pick, that's something I'm also interested in.
See, for a multi-bagger, the market needs to cooperate, and currently the markets aren't cooperating. It's at the at a corrective stage, and we need to wait for. And Anantraj being the realty sector, it's bound for correction. As I said earlier, the Nifty Realty Index is likely to correct to about 815 from a current level of about 815. So the stock as such, Anantraj, is quite strong, extremely strong, but it needs a little bit of froth to be taken out. So it's gone from 45 to 810. So it's just needs some breather at the current levels. So it's probably likely to drop to somewhere close to 740 to 690, and then resume its uptrend. As few new multi-baggers, I don't have anything for the moment. I'm a just-in-time guy. I'll wait for the trend to reverse. Let's see what the market. I'm very sure that Nifty is going to correct to somewhere close to the 21,280 levels that we saw on the 4th of June in 2024, the post-election low. And once that is done, we can look at multi-baggers.
All right, so that's the view coming in by Jay. So currently he doesn't have a multi-bagger pick, but he will have certainly in some point of time. So we have a caller from Ghaziabad. Hi, Prasoom. Thanks for calling in.
Very good evening, ma'am. Thank you so much for picking up my call.
Good evening.
I just wanted to know.
Yes, please go ahead with the query.
Yeah, I have 3,500 shares of Orient Green Power.
Mm-hmm.
And 1,000 shares of LTF, Larsen and Turbo Finance.
Right.
Both are down right now. Right now, Green Power is down by 18.27.
Yeah.
I bought at 19.34.
Prasoom, I'm afraid that we'll be able to take only one query at a time. So I'm going to stick with the Orient Green.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll stick with Orient Green then.
Yes,
3,500.
Yes.
I bought average price is 1934 while it is 1581 right now.
Mm-hmm. So are you looking for a short-term view or a long-term view?
No, long-term is fine with me. I can hold on for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years also.
Okay.
But is it okay to hold on?
Okay. So Girish, is Orient Green looking promising to you for the long term? Because Prasoom is sitting on a loss of almost 12,000 there. So do you suggest him holding the stock for another 1 to 2 years?
For the longer term of 1 to 2 years, obviously you can still hold your positions as of now. But I'm more afraid on that particular short-term views because the companies promoters are decreasing their holdings. Obviously, this is a very red remark in the fundamental terms proposition, as well as the low returns ratios and the pledgings. These are the three categories where we are still working into it. But as per the latest report, as well as the latest commentary with the management, to the research teams. The Orient Greens are still working on the restructuring of their particular business right now. So they are just more focused on the next 2 quarters to 3 quarters itself for the delivering the very good numbers in the top term margins as well as the profit notes. So just hold your position as of now. But my suggestion is to just hold with the strict stop loss of around 11.50. That what we are thinking about the fundamental terms propositions. That there would be the lower terms for the Orient Gate. So just hold your position with a strict stop loss.
Got that view, Girish. The next caller is Prasoom, who's joining us. Sorry, Prasoom, we just answered the query. The next query is actually from Shankar, dialing in from Chennai. Good evening, Shankar. What's your query?
Hello, good evening, sir.
Hi, please go ahead with the query.
I'm Shankar from Chennai.
Yes.
I'm holding 130 shares of IRCTC for past 15 months.
Okay.
Now I want to know the fundamental and technical outlook.
Okay, let me go to Jay first on IRCTC. Jay, what are the charts indicating for this stock?
See, we've been positive on the railway stocks for some time, but IRCTC is somewhere in between, not a clear trend. So I would say, given that there's a railway budget that's coming, there could be some promise of the stock recovering from current levels. Probably it may not go to all-time highs past 1,300. Probably some bounce back to about 920. That sort of potential is there. But it's the short term and trend is not extremely clear. But I think for the medium term, after stomaching some more pain, probably the stock could recover. But so basically, it could be doing nothing for a few weeks to a few months, unless something happens post-budget. So the short-term trend is not clear. The long-term points to some more sideways consolidation before the stock recovers to all-time highs.
Do you suggest?
Girish, fundamentally, does it look promising on the fundamental side for IRCTC?
Yes, in the fundamental terms, obviously we are bullish on that particular railway stocks as well as the IRCTC because they are just expanding in the business verticals too. As we talking about the debt, then obviously it's a debt-free company. The profit growth was little bit higher, the more than a 32 or 30% of the CAGR growth in last 5 years. So overall, the trend was little bit positive in the fundamental terms, but I'm more convinced with the technical team, and we are just more thoughts that the holding period would be minimum 2 years time frame for the good numbers we are talking about.
Right, so that's a view coming in on IRCTC. With that, we have a caller okay, so the place is not mentioned, but Sarat Sinha is calling us. Hi, Sarat.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. How can we help you?
Sarafina from Patna. Actually, I would like to know about Indian Hotel,
Okay.
which I am holding at the rate of 700,000 shares.
Yes.
I would like to hold it for a year and two. I would like to know about the short-term and long-term view on this.
Okay.
As well as technical view as well
Okay.
from Mr. Bala.
And why Indian hotels, if I may ask?
Since discretionary spending is picking up in India, I think this is the best way to play this story.
All right. So, Jay, coming to you on this, how is Indian hotels faring on the charts?
One of the stocks within the Tata groups that's quite strong, and it's still, despite its drop from 895 to 770s, it's still holding a good uptrend. But given the overall market direction is lower, the stock might middle somewhere from here between 780 to 740, and probably even somebody don't be disheartened if it were to drop to about 702. But the short to medium term is quite strong. But there might be some sideways price action without stock delivering further returns from here on. So wait for the stock to bottom out. The short term is sideways to slightly negative, but not too much downsides. So hold to the stop loss about 702. I think the 748 is a good stop for it, but we are being a little more conservative. Maintain stops at 702. I don't anticipate it to drop below that, but I think there's a good potential for the stock to go past 895 and touch somewhere close to 940.
2 on the lower side, 895 could go as high according to Jay for Indian hotels. Let's go across to our next caller. Krishna Mohan is dialing us from Hyderabad. Krishna Mohan, good evening. What's your query? Hi, Krishna Mohan. Am I audible to you? Well, let's just take his query. I think yes, it's on Reliance Industries. 80 shares held at rupees 1350 per share. While he's looking for a long-term view. So let me go across to Girish first. Girish, for Reliance 2024, the first year of negative returns over the last decade. Do you see valuations coming to at a lower end compared to the previous decade, and seeing the stock having a long-term view on the positive side?
Yes, for the longer term view, we are a little bit more positive because they are just expanding in the multiple verticals, as we already saw that the Reliance still are working into the multiple verticals too. And they are working on the margin conference also in the power transmission space. So we are just expecting that in the next 2 quarter itself, after the 2 quarters, the actual numbers are just coming out to the power transmissions as well as the petroleum biogas productions. So just go with that longer term propositions. We are just more positive into the end.
Okay, so that's the view coming in. We have a caller from New Delhi. Hi, Gurmeet. Thanks for calling in. Gurmeet, am I audible? I think we've lost the line there, but we have his query. So he wants to invest in cement stocks and he is seeking for an advice. He hasn't mentioned a short term or long term. So I'd like to take both the technical and fundamental view on it. Starting with you, Girish, what are your top picks in the cement space?
So my topic was Ultratech Cement. As we saw that the result numbers was very excellent and they are just expanding very strongly. And the production what we are expecting is like approximately a 30 to 32% high in the next two financial year itself. So our pick was Ultratech Cement and the saw that the upside of around 25% in the year-on-year basis.
And Jay, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I would say avoid Ambuja Cements and ACC for the moment. The better positioned on the chart for the moment is Shree Cements and JK Cements. And if you're trying to pick fresh positions here, go to normal, less than normal size of your allocation. If you normally allocate 10 rupees towards the stock, you better allocate something like 2 rupees now. So that with that in mind, look at JK Cements and Shree Cements. They might have short-term upsides, and you might want to wait for other stocks to bottom out before venturing out here. These two stocks, JK Cements and Shree Cements, are consolidating in a bullish fashion in a sideways range. So I think upward breakout is likely in both these counters.
Got that view, Jay. Very strong views on a couple of cement stocks to avoid and to buy as well. JK Cement being, being one of them. Shree Cement definitely a buy according to Jay. The next stock is the next query is coming in from Gurgaon. Siddharth is dialing in, and he's mentioned a WhatsApp query on Tata Motors. He's holding roughly 2,100 shares at 817 rupees per share. Now, the stock has corrected over the last 6 months. I think its last high in June of 2024, 1,100, 1,200 rupees. So since then, has seen a correction, but he's looking for a short-term view. So Jay, let me come across to you real quickly. While on the fundamental side, the passenger car sales have been slowing down in 2024, but a lot of new launches to watch out for in this year. On the charts, is there any kind of view that you have on Tata Motors?
See, if you look at the Nifty sectoral indices, the sectors which have dropped 20%, Nifty Auto Index is one of those. So, from being the leader in the market, the auto index has gone to being the leader on the downsides. But the drop from 1150 to 718 for Tata Motors is a 5-step move. And so we translate markets in the number of steps it takes when it goes down or go up. So this says that the stock has started to trend lower in the medium to long term. So you need a sizable amount of caution. But since the view is for the short term, with the strict stop loss of about 710, I think it has a short-term rally potential. Bear in mind that the stock is starting to trend down in the medium to long term, but the stop losses have to be extremely strict at 710, and be a trader and try to capture the bounce that's coming up as a corrective bounce. The corrective potential is about 820 to 830.
All right, so that's a view coming in on Tata Motors. With that, we have a WhatsApp query. Siju has written to us from Qatar. So we have a lot of international viewers there. So he's bought 350 shares of UPL at 564 rupees, and he's looking for a 2-year outlook. And if I can see that the stock is trading at 550 levels currently, and it was also down over 1.34% there. So Girish, do you have any view on UPL for the long term?
So the long-term views was a good one that because we are talking about the pharmaceuticals as well as the aggregated-based stocks we are talking about. So the chemicals as well as the agri-chemicals are more focused on, and as we saw that the rainy season was a little bit good in the term frames, as well as we are just expecting a good front notes in the export as well as the import numbers both. So the numbers was good. And as we talk about the budget seasons are going on, so the more focus on the agri-based particular products lines into the budget proposition too. So just hold your position as of now because there's a vision of approximately 2 years and they are working on the marginal funds also. So just hold your positions.
Got that view, Girish. The next query is again on WhatsApp. Prashant is dialing in, sending us this query from Maharashtra. He holds roughly 42 shares of Cyient at 1,750 rupees per share and looking for a long-term view. Now, Cyient today had a hammering across the day. No recovery in sight, down 23% on the back of its Q3 earnings. It was a dismal quarter overall. We've seen the management change also today. Girish, Cyient, any kind of outlook that you have on the Q3 results as well as the long-term view? Do you suggest to buy any other IT stock or do you want to stay with Cyient? After the correction, any kind of view?
No, my view is little bit negative in the Cyient basically. As we talk about the top management is resigned and what we saw is that the results was not very much fabulous. As we saw is that the IT companies and the technology based companies are still performing right now very good, excellent one. So my suggestion is to just exit your position as of now and just move to the we can say that the mid cap of the companies because the mid cap IT companies are still working in a very good notes and they are just exploring the new market areas. That's the reason they are restructuring their working profiles. So the B Soft is one of the candidates where we are looking out at the right now is a very attractive level. So just if you want, you can go with the B Soft as well as any other IT companies. Just exit your position from the site.
Jay, anyone who couldn't get out of sign today and held the stock, any kind of outlook on charts? Do you suggest that they stay on for a correction from these levels, or get out at the next moment?
Yeah, it's a very difficult call. It's very hard to see the stock bleed and then bleed even further. That's the reason why you follow trends. And this stock has been an underperformer since the beginning of 2024, and it's been clocking lower lows and lower highs. So I'm not surprised that it's come in this fashion. So yeah, I agree that it's a difficult call, but you have to get out. Downsides are something like 1164. Maybe even something like 12. Yeah, 1164, and the next level is about 1000. So very difficult call. If you haven't got out earlier, it's a difficult call, but it looks bleak on the charts.
Right, so a very strong view coming in on Scient. And with that, we have a WhatsApp query. S. Sundarajan has written to us from Chennai. He said that he's bought 50 shares of GETND at 63 a piece. So should he hold or sell? And I can see that he is sitting on a very handsome profit of 85,000 over there. Since he hasn't mentioned the time horizon, I'd come to you, Jay. How is GTND looking on the charts?
Sorry, I haven't looked at okay, one second. Yeah, I haven't looked at the chart recently. But yeah, it's a very, very strong trending counter. And the short-term trend is for a correction. But I don't think the stock is finished its uptrend yet. But you might see some downsides to come for the stock. And so keep a stop loss at about 1500. The stock is thinly traded, so be very careful here. So that's the reason for a wide stop. I think further higher highs in the medium to long term, not in the short term. So short term, we need to keep a trailing stop with about 1500 and anticipate something like 2400. But bear in mind, this is an extremely thinly traded stock.
What's your outlook on the counter?
I'm mildly positive on the counter. I'm anticipating further record highs to come through from a 12 to 24 months time frame.
All right.
The next query is actually a phone call, and the query is actually coming from Hyderabad. Ram is dialing us the stock query. Ram, what's your query? Hi, Ram. Yes, please go ahead with the query.
Yeah, I have purchased 3 months back 50 shares.
Okay, I think we're not very audible, Ram, but I think I have your stock query. I think it's on Indigo, 50 shares held at 5,100 rupees a piece, and he's looking for a long-term view. Let me go across to Girish very quickly. Girish, the recent earnings, I think it just came out today. While there is a forex loss there, any kind of outlook that you have on Indigo? It seemed to be a good set of numbers. What's your outlook on Indigo for the long term, and what would you suggest a viewer with this particular stock?
So the profit growth was excellent one in the last 5 years time frame. Obviously, the passengers are still working on that, and the growth of the passenger line was slowly improvising in India's passengers of approximately 12 to 13% year-on-year basis. But for the longer term propositions, obviously we are bullish on that particular medium sales, and the competitions are very much strongly by the Indigo or counter ants. So just hold your position as of now for the 1.5 year time frame.
All right, so that's a view coming in on Interglobe Aviation. Now, with that, we have a caller from Tirupati. Hi, Venkat. Good evening.
Good evening.
How can we help you?
Yeah, I have 500 shares of HBL Power.
Okay.
At the rate of 583 average.
Yes.
So I have 2 years long-term view.
A long-term view on it?
Yeah, 2 years.
Because you are sitting on a loss of almost 27,000 there. So do you still wish to hold it?
Yeah, is it right to hold or sell it?
Yeah. So, Girish, is it advisable for Venkat to hold the counter for long term?
So, my advice is to just reduce your position as of now. But the order sizes was reducing very heavily, and the company's performance was little bit lower in the terms of the tradings of book values, also as well as the promoter holding too. Promoters are just reducing their holdings, as well as the high debtor days, and this is a major reason that the low equity ratios are there. So just X your positions as of now, and just avoid these type of counters.
Got the view, Girish, but I'm afraid we are running really short of time today. But thank you, Girish and Jay, for all the stock queries to be answered. And we look forward to our next conversation. Thanks so much for joining us today. But with that, viewers, that's all the time we have on Ask Profit, in the evening edition. Thanks so much for joining in, and we'll connect with you again on Monday. Stay tuned and have a happy weekend.
This is the day that shapes the future of a billion dreams.
From the fields of agriculture to the backbone of defense.
From ambitious infrastructure projects to everyday tax policies.
Every decision counts.
How will this budget balance growth and fiscal prudence?
What will it mean for jobs and what will it mean for your portfolio?
Join us for the most comprehensive coverage of Budget 2025
as we decipher the impact
of this budget on you.
The mother of all Kumbh Melas. At a scale never seen before. Livelihoods of lakhs in the balance.
NDTV Profit is boots on the ground at the Mahakumbh in Prayagraj.
Managing 45 crore pilgrims with high-tech gadgets. Don't miss Kumbhanomics on NDTV Profit at these times.